the butt. Who's the butt? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Charity Tuesday. It's Houston. We have a problem. We're raising we're raising money for the it's no longer called the Actors Fund. They changed the name. It's now called the Entertainment Community Fund. They are helping support actors and writers who are currently on strike. A lot of them get paid dirt as it is, and they might not be able to afford food and rent and ways to live while they're trying to fight for, well, living wages to do what they do, which is entertain all of you hours and hours and hours each week. Believe me, I know a lot of you are spending money on your Hulus and your Netflixes and Amazon Primes and Apple Plus and Peacock and Paramount and everything else. And all that money is not going to the actors and the writers who create those shows. It's going to some fat cat executive who's buying yet another luxury yacht. And I don't know if you've seen the stories, but you know, actors that are on hit shows, like prestige shows that were the show for an entire streaming platform, like Orange is the New Black. The actors were working 2 and 3 jobs while doing that show because they weren't making a living wage while acting in it. And since then, received things like 27 cents a year in residuals. So that show, one of the most successful shows to ever be on that platform, the actors who are in it are making 27 cents a year in royalties. It's silly. Absolutely silly. So what they're fighting for is for royalties to be extended to streaming platforms, since that's where most people are getting their content and not from network television. And, you know, a lot of those folks are working just like you. And they deserve to have the benefits of their labor proportionally given to them for the amount of wealth that they generate. If a movie makes $1 billion, the people who wrote, starred, filmed, they should get adequate compensation for the effort that went in there. So if you want television and movies to continue in the future, you have to figure out how to help fund that. A bleak future is in the cards if the studios shut down human beings and go straight for AI. They just scan a couple of bodies, put them in everything, AI generate everything, robot voices. It's going to be just the shittiest thing you could possibly have. So let's support humans. Let's support humans doing human things and not succumb to our robot overlords. Also, if you donate today, every dollar in donation goes to a raffle ticket to win one of 2 Blue Sky invite codes I have. So donate away. I already got the first few on here. Josh Pet Pals just got in here. And who else is in here? Jiggish Shukla. I like that name. There we go. Chris Taylor. And Julio and Prontal. Okay, so I can do my quick thanks. We're up to $480, and I just started the show. So, Andrew Stewart, thank you. SJ, thank you. First name, last name, Blah 8319. Not your friend. Red Lightsaber, Cameron Mirza, Leo B, Anonymous, Josh Pet Pals, Jiggish Shukla, Chris Taylor, Julius Miami, and Prontal. All thank you so much. You are all on the magic list for a Blue Sky invite. Then if you already have a Blue Sky account, you will get it and give it to somebody else, whatever. I am collecting all the anonymous ones on this, so if you do donate anonymously, I don't know, maybe we'll send a Blue Sky invite code to Rosa or something out of it if anonymous wins. So yeah, there we go. So Entertainment Community Fund, that's what we're raising money for today. So I want to thank everybody for already jumping in there, and we're already halfway to our goal. It looks like people care about being entertained, and I appreciate that. So thank you. All right, so news. Well, it sounds like UPS reached a deal with the Teamsters, and they won't be going on strike. That's the word. So the easy put play, out the window. AMC went right back down. Borrow rate is still insane. It's like 1,000%. Bed Bath & Beyond, they're filing all sorts of things. They've got a hearing on the 1st, and it sounds like there's going to be some sort of shareholder vote of some kind on the 1st of September. So that means our shares are not canceled like a lot of the Fudsters still keep claiming. So I'll keep trying to pick up shares as the weeks go on while it's still cheap. What else? I'm not sure. I'm sure you guys will remind me. So, dun 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 dun, ping. Wait, nothing happened. How about now? There we go. What are you doing over there? What are you doing? I can't pet you when you're over there. Right? You're a dog. You be over here. Come on. Get up on your thing. Get up on your thing. Get up. Oh, you can sit right there. Okay. Oh, shoots bra. Okay, so we're going way back in time to 24 hours ago. Well, 23 hours and 57 minutes ago. So, Nerd Alert was first. He wins. Sis 54, I'm here for it. Scott Lumley is third. B-Ball 3710. Imagine if there were no humans on Earth and you and 1,000 people could settle and start the human race. What continent would you pick? Anywhere more specific? I would not pick Australia. Namely because I wouldn't want to have to be the one to figure out what plant life and animals are going to kill me and my settlers. I would avoid Australia 100% as being the first on the ground. Where would I pick? Without humans, megafauna would have been everywhere. That would have been terrifying enough. You'd have giant woolly mammoths and huge sloths and just armadillos the size of houses. So megafauna would definitely be terrifying. Man. I would want to see a saber-toothed tiger. So probably I would pick North America because saber-toothed tigers did not exist in Europe or Asia. And for some reason, I've always had a fascination with saber-toothed tigers. So I'm going to get mauled by a creature that can just wipe me out. I'm going to pick saber-toothed tiger. Getting killed by a saber-toothed tiger would be, I'd be honored. I think I'd reach Valhalla if that was how I died. SJ, good day, Houston. Sorry I missed the last charity show. Been playing catch up on the shows for weeks now. And boom, thank you. It's getting to start off right, SJ. Thank you. Super Castberg. Oh, just listening to the date. Show starts. Nil 21981. I'm confused. Isn't tomorrow Tuesday? Where's the link for today's show? Oh, sorry. There was no show yesterday. I could not get home in time doing. I did a little Twitch stream. Barely any of you showed up to watch me stare at maps. That's all right. I do it for my own entertainment. So yeah, no Monday show this week, but we're doing the Charity Tuesday, and we're already $495, which means I have to add Franklin to the list. Thank you. And Artemis. Artemis. Oops. That's a 10. Thank you so much. We're almost halfway there, and we're 9 minutes into the show. This is the fastest we've ever raised funds for something. And last week we raised really fast. Although at the end it came to a crawl where I was just begging, feed those kids. Let's get this done. Originally I was going to try to do this show for World Harvest Food Bank, but they're not listed with YouTube, so I couldn't do it. So if anyone's associated with World Harvest Food Bank, if you can get listed with YouTube, we'll raise money for you one of these days. Because they're specifically helping feed actors and writers who, well, have no money left because they've been on strike for a month. Kelly Reed, Bank of Canada survey highlights the expected end of rate hikes. The same survey also has 50% calling for recession in the next 6 months. Coincidence? Usually rates fall in a recession. Oh yeah, rates will definitely fall in a recession because they have to spur investments. Yeah, there's recession's coming. I don't know if you guys have been reading all the commercial real estate stuff, but huge funds are not paying their mortgages. We're talking for like billion-dollar buildings, $400 million towers. They're not paying a dime towards their mortgages. And the banks are scared to foreclose because the banks don't want to own these things. Because if they own them and have to sell them, then they're going to flood the market with commercial real estate, bring the prices down even more, which means even fewer people are going to pay their mortgages. Because if you're an investment fund, right, and you have a $400 million mortgage on a tower, but the building's only worth $100 million, you're not paying that. You're going to be like, it's cheaper for us not to pay. We will lose less money that way. So you're going to start seeing big investment funds, these big REITs, start to walk away from commercial real estate, which is going to bring down a lot of banks, because especially regional banks, a lot of regional banks are the loan officiants for these commercial loans. So yeah, there's probably hundreds of regional banks they're going to start being in trouble, and we'll start to see waves like we did this winter with SVB and First Republic and stuff. But if you want to look at the silver lining, anytime you've had urban decay as a result of commercial real estate collapsing, you had sort of a urban renaissance happen as bohemians and hipsters and artists move into these former industrial and commercial spaces and create just awesome communities. So expect the music scenes in a lot of these places to get rad. A lot of cool art galleries. You're just going to have just grunge 2.0, baby. That's exactly what happened in Seattle in the 70s and 80s. And all the young people moved into these cheap spaces downtown, made an amazing community. And you had one of the largest explosions of a music scene, well, in history, as, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Candlebox, Screaming Trees, Alice in Chains, you name it. They all like burst out of one place, basically. So Houston's crystal ball says the future collapse and everyone's calamities will result in amazing music from specific scenes around the country as these spaces get filled by, well, cool people. Kelly Reed. Anyone see Kramer's tweet that he's bullish on the economy and human race? Well, nice knowing you folks. Fabrizio plops. Jason Blackwell, Houston. Did you know Bruce Lee's brother didn't talk much? His name was Silent Lee. Jason, you owe for that one. Pay some actual writers. J-Dog, you also had a cousin named Anonymous Lee. Well, anonymously donated $20. So, Stephanie L. Houston, hola, back from Baja. Can you explain the importance of watching volume during a squeeze? Like what volume amount indicates when one should hold or sell in regards to the volume specifically for BBBYQ? That, in theory, works. In practice, is very hard because we don't know how many shares need to be closed. So how do we do that? So let's throw a number out there. We got 450 million shares, another 300 million possibly owned by insiders or being held by the company that were authorized. So 450 million shares. Yeah, I'm just pulling that out of my butt. Let's say that there's a billion shorts that have been created in that time. You're going to have to close those billion shorts, which means you're going to have to see a volume that's more than 2 times what the float is for the stock. In that case, you're looking at your daily volume. If you see that daily volume starting to approach a billion after a couple of days, and the price is flying through the roof, you might be reaching the end of it. The thing is that we don't know how many actual short shares there are. We know they're hard to borrow. We know they sell naked. Because there's no transparency, the SEC for some reason does not create transparency for short positions. We honestly don't know how many there are. I would assume a lot. And if that's the case, look at the volume, be like, this feels like it might be towards the end. Boop. And that might be that might be the way to do it. If we know for sure how many shares they have to close out, then we could pay attention to the volume much more easily. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why we need federal legislation. We need a retail investors like Bill of Rights. We need to have it published how much an individual or company is short and in who. For every single time they make a short position, it should get published somewhere. Oh, BlackRock just went short on this company for 1 million shares. Melvin is short this many shares. Like, it just should be out there because they have to publish how many shares they own of something, but they don't have to publish how many shares they owe. Right? It's silly. It's punishing people for being long and rewarding them for being short. I think it should be an equal playing field in that case. Okay. Whoa, 521. We're over halfway. 17 minutes into the program. Another anonymous. Where was anonymous on here? Anonymous. And Javier Martinez. Thank you. Boom. $479 to go. And then we've met our $1,000 goal. Keeping a few writers fed or roofed or housed or however you want to call it. Now you can put 30 of them into a house and split the rent. Hopefully some of them showed up. I tagged some writers and stuff in here. Hopefully some of them showed up. Okay. Kelly Reed, Bank of Canada survey. Oh, we did that one. How did I miss that? Oh, okay. Yes. That's because you maybe, okay, did it today. Peachy Sunday, happy birthday, Houston. So Elon spent $44 billion to buy a brand just to exit. This has to be the biggest joke in the last decade and the fastest way to burn money ever invented. It is the fastest way to burn money ever invented. Even before he did the rebranding, he spent $44 billion on Twitter. Fidelity last month valued it at about $6 billion. So he's lost $38 billion off the top. He lost 89% of advertisers, and now owes $1.4 billion a year in interest on the loan he took out to buy the company. And the company now earns less than $1 billion a year when it was a $4 to $5 billion a year revenue generator. So, yeah, it's a money pit. What I find fascinating is that for about $1 billion. And with the monkey, what's the word I'm looking for? Panache, gravitas, having a stroke. The goodwill he had prior to his purchase of Twitter would have been enough for him to hire away pretty much any developer he wanted. So say it just takes $1 billion, starts a new company called X.com. And with that, right, he's got all this goodwill, all this prestige and panache and gravitas. He can start a company called X.com that does exactly what Twitter does. Plus his whole banking thing and transactions and whatever he was trying to do 24 years ago when he actually had X.com. So why would you spend $44 billion for a different company, destroy it, fire all the developers you need to make the new company? Like, Twitter can operate with just 50 guys and a handshake. Okay, but what about the giant financial services company you're trying to build? You fired all the developers. And because you fired all the developers, other developers don't want to get hired by you because they go, oh shit, he can just fire me anytime like a dick. So they're not going to come help you program this thing. And I don't know if you read about when he created X.com. So he had Zip2, which got bought by Compaq Computers for like $300 million in 98 99. He got $20 or $30 million out of that. He then started X.com, this financial services company. He wanted to like revolutionize payment systems and Conformity. Is that the name of Peter Thiel's company? Like across the street there's another company doing exactly the same thing. And they're focusing more on payments via email. And Elon was focusing on a giant online bank. And both of them are bleeding cash like crazy. They're down to like their last pennies. So it was suggested the merger happens. And Elon was like, no, I want to make my giant company. And finally, his angel investors were like, just merge. So they merged. And they made him CEO of PayPal, which absorbed him. And he immediately was like, we're going to get rid of the PayPal name, call it X.com. And all the research was like, people don't like X.com. They don't want to invest in a company called X.com. They don't want to have payment services go through X.com. It reminds them of porn. It seems weird. And he's like, no, it's cool. It's like X marks the spot. That's where treasure is. And they're like, they don't see it that way. They see it as porn. And then there was all sorts of problems with him rewriting the code. He wanted to port everything from Linux, which was on Linux systems, over to Windows. But the Windows, at the time, the Windows servers, their databases could not ramp up fast enough. Like the amount of data that was coming through could not be handled on Windows servers at the time. And he was going through with it anyway. What resulted was an easy ability that if you just had like people's account numbers, not even like login passwords, you just had like simple account data, you could take all their money. And it was not going well. They were about to crash the entire computer system. Again, by that point, PayPal had already become a verb. So people were like, oh, PayPal it to me. Like, that's exactly what you want your company to do. And so there was a coup when Elon left for Europe on his honeymoon. There was a coup among the board. So he's in the air talking on an airphone to the rest of the board, and the board basically no confidence voted him and kicked him out as CEO and gave him a golden parachute of $100 million. He left PayPal. Peter Thiel took over, made that a success, and Elon took his $100 million and bought Tesla with it, and then declared himself the founder. And the rest is history. But what he's trying to do is, and someone had a great point. It was like getting drunk and calling your ex-girlfriend from 20 years ago to tell her that she's the hottest girl in the entire world. He's trying to relive his glory days at X.com, and we've moved on. We have plenty of financial services apps. We've got Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, your regular banking app, Zelle. We have a million different ways to transfer money back and forth relatively easily and cheaply. Not to mention all the crypto and stuff people can do as well, except ETH-related ones aren't that cheap. And so he's trying to now turn Twitter, which is a short-form social media app, into something like Weibo, which the only reason Weibo exists, or Weibo, is because the Chinese government kind of forced out the competition. So their existence is artificial because they've got 1.3 billion captive users that don't have the option of using anything else. And so unless you can get like the US government or the EU to crack down and eliminate every other banking and cash app out there, you're not going to take over the entire market. That's just not mathematically how it's going to work. Plus, there's been enough problems with the system, with the takeover of Twitter alone, that people are like, I don't trust my money with you. I mean, who doesn't like standing in line at the bank and being called a beta cuck by a bunch of Nazis? I mean, that just seems like something I would love to experience in my banking app. Right? Sit on down to the old Bank of America and get called a fag by a bunch of Nazis. It just doesn't bode well at all. So, yeah. Anywho, that's happening. And thus, I'm giving away 2 Blue Sky invites. Every $1 you donate towards the Entertainment Community Fund becomes a raffle entry to get a Blue Sky invite. So, gotta do some thank yous. Scott Lumley just donated. So, we got Scott Lumley. And Jeff Christman. Oh, goodness gracious. Boom. We're at $636. We're 63.6% of the way to our goal. We have $364 to go. So get in there. Help some folks. Because, you know, striking ain't easy. And there's a lot of them on strike. So down with the man, up with the people. I'm sure up with people is on strike as well. All right. Where were we? Kelly Reed one did that one. Daniel Motes, Houston, happy birthday. I have 17,000 shares of BBBYQ. Let's hope lottery ticket pays off. Kind of wish I loaded up at 7 cents. I wish I had more cash available to have loaded up an obscene amount at 7 cents. I would love to be at 6 figures on Bed Bath & Beyond at this point. Oh. And if UPS would just go on strike, I probably could have gotten there. Oh well. We'll figure out. We'll keep piecing it together as we can. Andrew Stewart, Houston. Thank you for supporting these people that work so hard to create for us. David Simon, the Wire Treem, just got shit canned for supporting WGA, and he's one of the biggest reasons for their success. The wife and I stand by WGA and SAG-AFTRA. Yeah. Solidarity. I don't care what walk of life you're in. You might be like, oh, those fruity, hoity-toity actors and they're millionaires. Most of them aren't. There's a ton of working actors. My sister's roommate is a working actress. You'll see her in TV shows all the time. You've probably heard her voice in tons of Disney Pixar movies. If you went to Disney World and you watch like dance programs, she choreographed it, right? She does hundreds of books on tape a year. Like that's her bread and butter, is reading books on tape, which means she has to sit in a silent room she built in her closet and read these books and not mess up for hours and hours and hours to get like pennies for doing these books on tape. But she works an insane amount to make a very meager living. On top of that, she's doing like Python tutorial videos on YouTube for, Python programming, and just the amount of work she puts in to not just entertain people and to like make them feel good and happy about what they're watching, but just to like educate people on things is insane. And her former roommate, Patricia Somerset, is Zelda in the Zelda video games, and her bread and butter is not the video games. She doesn't make that much money on video games. It's going to Comic-Cons and selling her signature. That's like the bulk of her earnings potential, is going to like Comic-Con and like standing in line and getting her picture taken with a whole bunch of freaks who are just creepy as hell, and then signing her name on like their video game cartridges and stuff. There's, that's just two little examples, but there's a lot of folks out there who, on top of being full-time on an Emmy-nominated show, are working 2 restaurant jobs and trying to figure out how to like do all their auditions and pay rent and do all that stuff. It's nuts. Like, yay, you made your big break. Cool. Here's $1,000 for 6 months worth of work, and we'll pay it 27 cents a year after that in royalties. Awesome. Meanwhile, the show's production budget was millions of dollars an episode, and right? So let's help them out. Let's help them out, because we pay good money to be entertained, and it's not going to the people who entertain us. That should be the most important thing, is that we pay money for what they give to us, and they're not getting it. So let's help them get it. Okay. Andrew Stewart, a lot goes into a quality production past just actors and writers too. Stunts, medical, catering, carpentry, makeup, electrical, teamsters, safety, rigging, etc. Hollywood is dicking all these people around. They are doing exactly that. The amount of work that goes into making a quality show is insane. Absolutely bonkers. And there's a reason why it's an industry, because to create the sets for your favorite sci-fi show, whether it's Star Trek or whatever, you have to build a ship, right? You have to build a whole ship with tunnels and elevators and everything, so that you have an environment for these folks to be in. Those folks, they don't get all the attention and things they need, but they have their own unions as well, and they at times threaten to go on strike. So if you don't have any carpenters or caterers or anything else, production grinds to a halt. So none of these folks are crossing picket lines. They know exactly what goes into all of this, and it's big money. And the folks who do the work get scraps, while the executives make huge hauls. And they do all sorts of weird accounting, probably illegal fudging of numbers. Like, what was the movie? There was a movie I was reading about that had a $3 million budget, made like $300 million at the box office, and the executives are claiming there was a $40 million loss. Because the way they paid themselves was they guaranteed themselves more money from the production than the production earned. So they give themselves like weird, they promised 110% of the proceeds to the executives. That way, any money that came in became a loss, and they had to do a write-off. It's crazy stuff. So, I would love like the government, the congressional counting office to like check out Hollywood and see what they're doing wrong. Martin Weiss, have you read Rich Dad Poor Dad? If yes, what are your thoughts on his approach to education? Oh man, it's been so long since I read that. Oh hey buddy, come to say hi? Cattail karaoke. All right, I brought the hat back. Put the hat up there. Yeah, there you go. Take your spot, little dude. I don't remember, Martin. I don't remember at all the section on education. Where's that book? Might be on a shelf in my mom's house. I think she read it after I did. Monkey Bet? Next time we go to the mom's house, we're going to get that book. Because I don't remember. I remember reading it and going, huh. And then just kind of jettisoning most of it from my head. Martin Weiss, how about a $10 donation yields extra intro? Oh, I forgot to turn off my intro. Haha, Martin, you just ruined it for everybody. No extra notable intro, because you just reminded me to turn it off. Steve, Houston, scientists say we have changed the tilt of the Earth because of pumping groundwater out of it. Do you think this is true? And if so, how bad is it for the future? As far as I know, we're still 23.5 degrees. The difference is our orientation of our 23.5 degree tilt changes over time. So it's going to change regardless because of precession of the Earth's axis. So the Earth wobbles like a top. You spin a top and it's going around, but at the same time, the pole of that top wobbles. We do one wobble every 26,000 years. So if the tilt of the Earth is changing due to groundwater being pumped, I'm not sure how they measured that versus the natural changes. I don't know, 12,000 years time, the North Pole will no longer point at Polaris, it'll point at Vega. And a large part of climate change, natural climate change over the years, is due to the precession of the Earth's axis as it does this. So a lot of the cycles of glaciations, interglacials are related to that, just to how much of North America sunshine gets different times a year and its distance from the sun. But I don't know. I'll have to look up that whole pumping groundwater thing, because there are oceans and oceans and oceans of water in the Earth's crust that is greater than the amount of water that we see at the surface. So there's a lot of water down there. Some of it's really deep and we can't really get to it, but there's a lot of it there. Martin Weiss, Hungary, by the way, turned out to be a total sham. Yes, lots of history and awesome architecture, but the food was great, plenty and very affordable. We didn't go to bed hungry once. You weren't hungry and hungry. Excellent. Mr. Lasuna, Houston, did you see the claim that the universe may be up to twice as old as previously thought? What do you think might be correct? What do you think? Might that be correct? It's possible. So when we look back in time, so we look back as far away as we can, further and further and further and further. We're looking back in time. So we're looking at different stages the galaxies were in their life cycle. And we get back to a point where they start to fade away into nothing. And right about where they fade away into nothing is also where what we think is the Big Bang, the CMB, the cosmological microwave background radiation. And this is thought to be the fuzz of the Big Bang. When the Big Bang went boom, there's lots of heat generated, a lot of radioactivity, and light got produced, but it was all incoherent. And you look everywhere in any direction, you'll see that cosmic microwave background radiation because you're looking back in time to when that fuzz happened. Now, because of the redshift and the dilution of that light, because we can see it from anywhere, we know that it was hot, and we know it's been redshifted into the microwave. It's like 2.5 degrees Kelvin or something is how warm it is, which is really close to absolute zero. Now, there could be another reason for that fuzz, and that is any visible object, the further away you get, the universe is expanding. So eventually it gets to the point where something's so far away, it's expanding away from us faster than the speed of light, so the light can no longer reach us. And it's just redshifted away into nothing. And so it could be that whenever we look out really far away to what is the cosmic microwave background radiation, 13.8 billion light years away, that what we're actually seeing is a universe that already existed, and it's just redshifted beyond us being able to see what that stuff is. The problem with that is when we look back in time, we can see very prominent evolution of these galaxies. We can look back to about 1 billion years after the Big Bang and see these galaxies grow, have really active black holes in their center that are emitting an intense amount of radiation. So these things called quasars that get formed. And there's different categories of quasars depending on on their tilt. There's these things called BLAC objects, which are basically like galaxy lasers. We look at them, we're like, oh my God, you can't even look at this thing, it's so bright. And that's because, the galaxy might be a spiral galaxy, but it's tilted, and so the black holes poles are pointed straight at our telescopes. So it's like a laser beam right into our eyeballs when we look at them, so they look freakishly bright. But they're still just quasars. They just happen to be at a different orientation than we would normally expect them to be. And so we see this evolution of them, and the quasars kind of fade out, I don't know, 6-7 billion years ago. So they had their time when these galaxies were actively gobbling up all sorts of material and mass and stars, and they're just getting larger and larger and larger as the black holes grow. And then, they pretty much did their job. They gobbled up all they could. Everything else got into a stable orbit around those black holes, and then cool, chilling out. So that the active black holes are no longer emitting as much light as they were billions of years ago. And that's just sort of thought to be the evolution of this stuff. Now, with the most recent data from the James Webb Space Telescope, is that what they're saying is they're seeing these quasars seem to be existing sooner than we expected. So we look back in time, look back at 13.7 billion years ago, and we're actually seeing these really fuzzy, faint red objects that have redshifted a lot, but look to be really bright active galaxies sooner than we would have ever expected them to form based on current models of the Big Bang. And this is leading to the hypothesis that the Big Bang formed later or formed longer ago than our current numbers suggest. All that tells me is that our current model may have assumed galaxies were forming later than they actually were, just because we couldn't see them before. But the light still fades away at 13.8 billion years. And I don't know. I don't think it means the universe is twice as old as originally thought. I think it just means that galaxies formed sooner after the Big Bang than our previous model had suggested. That seems to be the more logical outcome for me. Okay. Martin Weiss, reminder to hot boys and girls, if you donate, Houston will call you out. It's true. Hot boys and girls, if you jump into the chat and you donate to our charity today, I'll let you stay. I will tell the mods not to eliminate you. And speaking of which, donations, we're at $686 raised. So Dmitry Maximov, thank you. Deme tree Maximov. Moth, 2 Fs. Thank you. Joe Rocco. Boom. M. Hobson, thank you. And Nil2911, did you donate? No, that was Bleh. Nil. 2 L's. 2981. 21981. I gotta get that right. And boom. So $686. We're $314 from our goal of $1,000, helping raise money for actors and writers on strike as they stick it to the man, as we all are trying to stick it to the man constantly at all times. So, yeah. Okay. Mario Valdez, I had 10 questions up, but the chat reset. Well, I'm 40 years and 1 day old, and BBBYQ didn't pop. I was wrong. Hopefully something happens soon. This working in the heat sucks. Working in the heat does suck. So let's get to the point where we don't have to work in the heat. Well, I'll have to work in the heat eventually because the Earth is catching on fire everywhere right now. Have you seen the fires spreading through Italy? They are rapid. They are brutal. We may have to do a charity show to help those folks out. Any Italian viewers who happen to still be awake right now or not running for their lives, my heart goes out to you. Because if it's not flooding up in northern Italy, it's burning in southern Italy. That seems to be the couple of stages we have for the Earth right now. Is we've got it's on fire, it's flooding, or the oceans are boiling. Those seem to be the three stages. They set a world record yesterday for sea surface temperature off of southern Florida, 100.3 degrees, the hottest surface temperature recorded in ocean water ever. 100.3 degrees. Nothing can live in that. Every sea creature dies. The coral bleaches. The manatees overheat. The whales cook to death. You cannot survive in that heat. It's just impossible. We are boiling off the oceans. And as a result of those incredibly high temperatures in the Atlantic right now, just seriously freakish high temperatures, we've got 3 storm systems with potentials to turn to hurricanes in the next few days. And all of them are going to be targeting the southern U.S. So those high sea temperatures are just create so much energy and so much evaporation that the storms can get super powerful. And we're now just entering what is like the meat of hurricane season. I wouldn't doubt we see so many named storms over the next 2 months. It's going to feel apocalyptic, I think. So, kitty cat, pull onto your butts. While the rest of the world burns, it is really pleasant here in Seattle. So, it's like 75 and just really nice outside. But I feel for all the rest of you, because in a month, we're going to have smoke everywhere here because it'll be our fire season all of a sudden. And I won't be able to breathe, so I'm just going to enjoy it while we can. Just waiting for the day that my little island burns down, because it's going to happen eventually. So many trees here. Just take us all out. Tom Zaki, happy birthday, Mario. Yes, indeed, happy birthday, Mario. Martin Weiss, ever since I bought my first put, UBS has been on a steady rise. If any of your listeners want the ticker to rise, I can fix that with the cost of a put. That seems to be how a lot of us operate. First name, last name, Houston. Would you eat a Hot Pocket on stream every time you double intro? I bet you wouldn't forget after that. I think I've had to eat Hot Pocket more than once or twice. This show would just end. Gymnius, Houston, still positive BBBYQ? Yes. I still think that there's lots of squirrely stuff waiting to drop. But as I said, I'm still treating everything I put into my BBBYQ investment as a total loss. I just accept it as a loss, and if something cool happens with it, awesome. Exactly like a lotto ticket. I bought a ticket for that $1 billion lotto. I did not win, so the ticket was a loss. It's gone forever. I'm okay with that. I'm never going to invest more in a lotto ticket than I can afford to lose. And I see it as an entertainment expense. Like, it's cheaper than going to a movie. And I do sit and think, like, what would I do with that money? And it creates a nice little brain theater for me. Silent Sapien, Mr. Wade, what's the latest on BBBYQ can carry on till? I think we'll find out more next Tuesday on the 1st. They have a hearing before the judge. There's a hearing on that day, and I think there's a hearing on the 7th as well. But it sounds like they've got a deal together with their secured lenders. They're going to discharge 99% of the unsecured debt. It'll just disappear. So anyone who had those bonds, tough shit. They're not worth anything. And they're going to emerge. And the emergence is probably going to be dependent upon the sale of leases. And that's what's going to take time. That sounds like it might take till November to get those leases sold. Especially in this climate, commercial real estate wise. Like, why would you take on particular leases when commercial real estate is empty everywhere? So that's going to take a little while for them to get through that. And it may come to the end, the judge just vacates the leases and goes, well, we tried. Sorry, landlords, go find somebody. First name, last name, Houston. I don't remember if I asked this for, but can I repair a fire opal that split from cleaning an ultrasonic cleaner? I superglued the piece back and it was like new, but after time, the seam was visible. So I'm assuming I'm SOL. Yeah. It's done. Sorry. You might have to make 2 small pieces out of it. But yeah, opals are really, really brittle. They like to crack and craze pretty easily. So there's 2 reasons they'll crack and craze. One is depending on their water content and how they formed, they literally evaporate water and they lose their color and they'll crack that way. That's called crazing. And 2, if you knock them on something. So they make really terrible rings. Don't ever make an opal ring. Don't make an opal ring. Use them for earrings, necklaces. Don't use them for rings because rings get knocked on stuff and they'll just shatter. So you may have to kind of recab them into some little smaller ones, make some earrings out of them or something. Yeah, that's a bummer because they're really beautiful. But like the opals from Ethiopia and the opals from Australia, they do really well in just natural environments. They hold their water content. They have fairly low water content. But like the black opals from Virgin Valley, Nevada, which can be some of the coolest ones in the world, their water content's like 20%, whereas the Australia and Ethiopian ones are like 5%. So the ones from Virgin Valley, Nevada, you've got to keep them in like little snow globes. You can appreciate them on a shelf, but you can't turn them into jewelry because the minute you take them out of that water, they dry out in a day or 2 and they'll crack. And if you've got valuable opals and you have to put them away in like a safe deposit box, safe deposit boxes, those large safes, they are designed to be very dry. They take out a lot of the humidity because a lot of papers get stored in that. So they want to maintain the papers and make sure they don't like get moldy and rot, right? And so if you're going to put opals, like opal jewelry, into a safe deposit box, you're going to want to include them with water. Either put them inside a little snow globe or a Tupperware container or something, or you can get like paper towel, wet paper towel, put it into a Ziploc bag, put the jewelry in that, and seal up the Ziploc bag airtight. And you can leave that in there, and that moisture will keep the opal from crazing. But once it cracks, that's it, man. No other way to repair it. Andrew Vanderhelm, UPS and Teamsters have reached an agreement. Yeah. Or tentative agreement, yes. So they still have to vote on it, but my guess is if the Teamsters are like, we're good with this, then the membership's going to be, we're good with this. And there goes the hope of being able to get a bunch of puts on UPS next Monday and riding that sucker for a bit. Having such an easy layup like that in front of us, and the Teamsters negotiated it away. That's all right. I'm glad that folks are going to get paid what they're owed. Okay. First name, last name, Houston. You said that bankruptcy filing and selling of assets goes to collateralized debtors. What makes Sears Holding different, if at all? The difference with Sears Holding is that Eddie Lampert self-dealed. So he is the holder of the collateralized debt and the owner of the company because he self-dealed to himself. And the collateral, a lot of the collateral he sold to himself at a 99% discount. Like, they had billions and billions and billions of dollars in real estate that was held by Sears. And since he controlled the board, he convinced the board to sell off all the real estate assets to him for $40 million. And so there's a lawsuit going on between shareholders and Eddie Lampert right now over basically his self-dealing and whether he violated his fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders by doing that. So that's the big difference. That's what's taking Sears so long to figure out, is how much of those real estate assets actually belong to Eddie Lampert, or if Eddie Lampert has to actually pay fair market value for them, which would be billions of dollars. And those billions of dollars would go to the shareholders. So that's where Sears is sitting right now. That's the big difference between BBBYQ and Sears Holding Q. Wow, Hippo. Houston, can you please explain how microwaves work? Is it bad for your health to eat microwave food often? Not bad for your health at all to eat microwave food. So everything has a harmonic resonance. I'm sure you done the experiments in your middle school science class where you had one tuning fork held in your hand and another one, someone went ding on, and then the one in your hand started vibrating because it was the same frequency as the one that got dinged. You guys remember those little experiments you used to do? Well, everything has a harmonic resonance, meaning there's some wavelength stuff absorbs light, and there's some wavelength stuff absorbs sound and emits in those wavelengths. And when you get them complementing off each other, you can excite the atoms in a certain way. So what happens is, in a microwave at 2.4 gigahertz of radiation, which is a microwave radiation, that is the harmonic frequency of water. So if there's a water content in the food you're microwaving, the microwaves hit that water molecule, causes it to vibrate like crazy. And we know that the more vibration an atom has, or a molecule has, the more energy it conveys. So they're sitting still, not much energy. They're bouncing around all over the place, it's become a gas, right? And that gas has a lot of energy in it and will transfer that energy as it bonks off other things. So as these water molecules in your food vibrate like crazy because they're being excited at the harmonic resonance of water, 2.4 gigahertz, they bounce off the atoms inside the food and they cause the food to warm up and cook. So that's how a microwave works. And it's not radiation. It's not shouldn't say. It is a form of radiation, but it's not radioactive. It's not ionizing radiation. So you don't have to worry about oh, I'm going to eat this thing and now I'm going to die of cancers because radiation poisoning. It's no different than this ring light that's reflecting off of my glasses right now, putting light into my face, right? It's just light. It's just a type of light we can't see, and it's no different than, this operates at around 2.4 gigahertz. So does the wireless phone in your grandmother's house. That's just it's everywhere. It's all around us. It's just not particularly focused on at a high enough power state to excite the water molecules inside of us. So there you go. Don't worry about it. Microwave food's fine. It just cooks, usually tries to cook from inside out unless it's too thick because those radio waves can get blocked. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Anxiety Lord. Oh, I just lost your chat. Where'd you go? Something about a boat. Anxiety Lord, about to go on a boat here in Guam. Won't be able to watch, but here's $20. Oh, thank you. Oh, Anxiety Lord, that was anonymous. You're the anonymous. I can put you down as Anxiety Lord, and not anonymous. Anxiety Lord. Okay. All right. Where are we? Still at $686. We still have $314 to go. We got about an hour. Kitty cat. Got about an hour. Yeah. Yeah, you're a union member. Yes, you are. You're a union member. We're above the football union. Yeah, sure. He's so fat. So we got a kitten. I should say my roommate got a kitten. It's a tiny little Maine Coon. It's about this big right now, named Calypso. And then she also has the other cat, the orange cat, which never comes upstairs because the orange cat hates monkey butt, named Bumper. And Bumper has now been like kicked out of the room while the little tiny kitten gets used to things, which means Bumper's food is in the living room, which means this guy, this big tub of lard, is eating for two right now. We're constantly finding him just like wolfing down our food, and we like pull him away from it. He's like claws digging. He's like, no! And you yank him away and be like, bad kitty. He's like, but it's food. You're just so fat. You're so fat. You're gonna have just a butter-induced heart attack. Yes, you are. Yeah. Yeah, being fat probably doesn't help your asthma either. No. No. Fat cat. He's just such a chunk. He weighs so much. Lovely guy, though. Fabrizio, plop, Fabrizio, plop, Fabrizio, plop, Fabrizio. Hi, everybody. Derek Colhorse, man, I guess no UPS puts, huh? Yeah, no UPS puts for me. Unless for some reason they reject the offer, which I don't see coming. But, oh well. Artemis, HW, I missed you live last Monday for my birthday. Would you please wish me happy birthday? It's only fair. Love you. Happy birthday, Artemis. Chris Taylor, hello peeps. Hello, Chris Taylor. Cameron Mirza, please put me in the raffle. Okay, Cameron Mirza does not be in the raffle. So that means I'll put you in the anonymous side here. And I'll cross Cameron Mirza off the raffle. Okay. Park Life. You are stranded on an island and can only make one call to one of the two numbers on your phone to keep your life... Oh, sorry. One call to one of the two phone numbers on your phone to keep your lifelong company running. Who do you call? Adam, Aaron, or Elon? Oh, fuck. Man. That's a really evil question. Man. Oh. Do I just let the company die on its own? Man. That's a... I'm probably going to call Elon. And that's because when the company implodes tragically and unexpectedly, I will never get blamed for it. It'll be like some sort of ketamine-induced psychosis that then is the reason why everything fell apart while I'm on the desert island. So that's what I'm going to go for. I mean, it's rocking a hard place in that one. Mark Sloan, Houston, have you heard anything from Rosa about her MMTLP case? Nothing. And as far as I know, no response has been filed. It should be filed, I think, about this week from FINRA. So, didn't she file on the 22nd? So 30 days would be the 22nd, which was this weekend. I've not seen anything about a response from FINRA yet. If anyone sees one pop up on Pacer, let me know. We'll take a look-see. We got another anonymous donation. Fantastic. Another anonymous. And BOFH, thank you. BOFH says, I don't need a Blue Sky invite code. So BOFH, I will add yours to the anonymous thing. And if anonymous wins, then we'll send Rosa a Blue Sky invite. She can be on Blue Sky. Oh, Rumble Brilliance 8008, Houston. Or Rumble Brilliance Boob. Houston, do you know anything about Amazon's deal with Dish? I have not heard about Amazon doing anything with Dish Network. Dish Network's one of those things that gets tossed around a lot. Dish, Amazon. Dish starts selling mobile service on Amazon this week. Dish stock pops and the report will start selling wireless service on Amazon this week. Dish Network jumps reportedly will sell Boost mobile service on Amazon. Ah, so that's apparently what's happening. Good Dish and Amazon redefine future of wireless. With the report last month, Amazon is in talks to offer low-cost or free nationwide mobile phone service to Prime subscribers. A what? That part I not heard. Okay, let's shooty bop a doom ba doomp. Go there. Go there. Go there. Done. Okay. If there's a lesson to be learned from Succession, or that for that matter, any Shakespeare's plays, it's that you should never ignore scrappy outsider when it comes to upsetting the triumvirate. Whether it's the Roy family or I've never seen the show, so good as shit. That's why no matter how unlikely the deal, the Dish Network could suddenly catapult ahead of Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T to become the dominant wireless carrier is such a compelling proposition for the wireless industry right now. With the report last month, Amazon's in talks to offer low-cost or free nationwide mobile phone service to Prime subscribers. All eyes suddenly turned to Dish. Dish shares jumped 18% following the news, while shares of Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T all dropped. Okay. Prime Wireless powered by Dish. What had the market so excited about potential transformative tie-up? In a word, timing. The timing could not be more perfect for Dish and Amazon to make each other an offer they can't refuse, and for customers to break away from the retail environment of the big three carriers. Wireless networks, like any other facilities-based business, are monetized through their use. In order to thrive, they need vast numbers of users consuming throughput. Despite declining retail customer adoption, Dish's wireless efforts to date to field a nationwide 5G network have just passed 70% coverage of the U.S. population, and the company has built much of the infrastructure and institutional knowledge necessary to power a nationwide network rollout, but only if they can start realizing the benefits of owner economics. Okay. How did that totally get past me? How come no one sent me this article earlier? All right. That's crazy. That's brilliant. I mean, there was talk. So we got Starlink going up. Bing! SpaceX sending Starlink satellites up. Bezos has plans for Blue Origin to do the same thing, set up their own wireless communication system. So if they can absorb Boost Mobile, make some sort of agreement here, then they've got an in for connecting to their satellite network they're going to have eventually. And it would all be included in your $121 a year, or whatever it is that you pay for your Prime. Which, speaking of which, I got Prime like the first week it was offered, ever. 2005, 2006, whenever it was. I never got charged. Amazon never charged me a dime for being a member of Prime until last week. I got my first charge ever for being a Prime customer. My 18 years of skating free as being a member of Prime, someone finally caught up to it and realized, this guy's never been charged, and boop! Thank God they didn't back charge me. So, don't hurt me, Amazon. But yeah, if you're going to get your TV shows, your free shipping, and your cell service all for free off of that, well, cripes. I mean, I'm paying family plan. I'm paying $1,200 a year and change, probably like $1,400 a year actually, for T-Mobile, which is awesome. I mean, T-Mobile allows me to make phone calls anywhere in the world. I got data service. I travel. If I go to Europe, I don't have to worry about like not being able to get phone calls. I've got Wi-Fi calling, so that's awesome. But being able to pay $100 a year, $121 a year, and get almost everything I need, that seems pretty reasonable to me. And a brilliant idea. I didn't know Boost Mobile was owned by Dish, and I didn't know Boost Mobile had their own towers. I thought Boost was one of those companies that like Mint Mobile or Cricket, they just like buy bulk minutes or data from a company and then resell it for cheap, and that's how they make their money. But I didn't know that they actually were building their own towers. And to me, Boost Mobile in my mind is like the mobile phone company you get when you also have to cash your paychecks at Moneytree. That's it's like low rent mobile service, but maybe they're gonna bump up in the world. And by the way, we're at $699 now. So we got $301 to go. There are 189 of you currently watching. If everybody threw $2 at this, we could reach our goal in the next 55 minutes. Let's help some folks out. Okay. Rumble's brilliant. Thank you for throwing it my way. Deacon Blues, Houston, which goes first, Finger or GTII? Man. Since GTII didn't close up to generate some gamma for Monday, they're going to have to do some real climbing by the 18th of August. GTII, on the other hand, they're OTC. They don't have options. What they're depending upon is the court basically obliterating Alpine and forcing the closure of shares. And if that happens, the price goes through the roof. So that all comes down to, will the court make an order before the 18th or not? And if enough FOMO happens on Finger, they can trigger. GTII has to have a court order. And that's just, man. You guys are giving me like rock and a hard place questions all day today. I'm going to just flip a coin. Finger. There you go. Finger blasting. I know your friend. Aloha from Wahoo. As someone stated earlier, UPS and Union has a tentative agreement. Boo for puts, but I'm actually glad for my customers. There you go. Dmitry Maximov, welcome back. Finally, I can get my dose of common sense for the week. Well, thank you, Dmitry. Jason Blackwell, congrats to Adam Aaron for killing yet another rally by hinting that at dilution 24 hours after 100% run up. I know, man. That dude. Just. And there's still a lot of people who are angry at me for pointing out that Adam Aaron sucks at his job. And there's still people who have me like blocked on Twitter and on Reddit and stuff because they're like, oh, you're a shill. But seriously, that guy sucks so bad at his job. He does. Like, we know that they have to sell shares to get enough money to pay back because they owe so much in interest on the debt they've already created. And a large part of that debt they created is due to really poor planning by the board. I mean, they've enriched themselves $1 billion right off the bat, right? None of them buy back into the company. They just liquidate everything they have. Sell. Gave themselves gigantic bonuses when the company was having the worst year of its life. And they justified that by saying, well, we agreed to these bonuses before the COVID pandemic happened. So, we can't just like go back on our promise to ourselves. So yeah, they hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars Adam Aaron has taken out of that company. And he's not buying back in. You look at companies like GameStop, the board members are taking their money and buying more shares of that company. At the market. They're not just exercising options. They're buying shares. They're buying into their company, showing that they believe in it and it's going to last. Whereas every single board member at AMC took the cash and waiting for the next round of options to vest. Like, you want people to invest in your company? You invest in your company. If you believe in it so much, you invest in it. You have no stake. There are literally people in this chat who own more shares than the entire board combined of AMC. So why aren't they in charge? They're actually willing to invest in the company. Why aren't the people in this chat? There's only 204 people in the chat right now, and there are significantly more members of this chat who own more shares than the entire board of directors at AMC combined. It's silly. Like, put your money where your mouth is, Adam Aaron. Invest in your own company. Go out and buy some shares. Buy $50 million worth of shares. And be like, hey, I believe in this company. I just bought more shares. Do it. Raise capital from yourself, man. It's... But no, he wants his opportunity to sell a whole bunch of shares at a giant discount to some hedge fund, scratch their back or something because their kids go to the same private school. I don't know. It's silly. Chicken Shukla. What charity was Feed the Kids one? Send a link. That was last month's. That was... Oh shoot, what was that? What's the charity last month? Duh. I have to, one sec, I'll grab it. My channel. Go there. Go back to June. All right, that's Saturday. Boom, boom. Not that one. Not that one. Where? Oh, there's Cherry Tuesday. Okay, this is it.
Dial pad is where work comes
shut up,
together.
Stop. Die. Okay, it was for No Kid Hungry. That's what it was. So for shoot, come here, give me your show more. Yeah, No Kid Hungry was the name of the charity. So No Kid Hungry. The link for that episode, which you can still donate to, is right there. How much we donate? We donated $1,200 to No Kid Hungry, and that charity was a great one. That's one that feeds kids who are on like free lunch programs. Sometimes only solid meal they get every day is at school, and when school's out for the summer, they don't get food. So No Kid Hungry picks up the slack, and they did a lot of work during COVID when kids were at home and they weren't getting regular lunch service. They're really, really great charity. So, help the actors, also help the kids. Donate everything. That's how I feel. Okay. Close that. Okay. Chris Taylor, Houston. Every time I see a shirt with a pocket now, I check its design matches the design of the shirt, and your shirt looks a little cheap. It is cheap. So this is Pineapple Connection. They've got great patterns, but I think there's two different brands because all the Pineapple Connection ones always have mismatched pockets, which makes you think that when they match the pockets, they sell it as another brand, and when it has the pocket mismatched, they sell it as Pineapple Connection. I have dozens of the Pineapple Connection shirts because they're always at like Ross or TJ Maxx, but they always have cool patterns. And you know what? I can put up with an off patterned pocket. It doesn't match up, but yeah, cheap, good Hawaiian shirts. There's Pineapple Connection. Chris Taylor, put swaps viability on Bill of Rights too. Yes. Yeah. Critchy Chris, Houston, happy birthday. Thoughts on Citadel's 2023 profits down 60% year to date. Will this have any impact on GME price? I should expect so. What it says to me is that Citadel sold a bunch of naked stocks last year, right? Because 2021, they were in trouble and they had to bail out Melvin. They had to buy back tons of stocks. They were hurting like crazy. Once they got through that, they're like, the shorting's back on the menu, boys. And they started shorting like crazy. And they took all that money and they told all their clients, like, hey, we made $16 billion. We're the richest hedge fund in the world. You're welcome. And now they owe that money back again because all that profit they made was selling stocks that don't exist. So they're hurting all over again. And if they're hurting, that's good news for GME, baby. Okay, where am I? Oh, RVing happens. Creating his own company would not have given him the Twitter files. But the Twitter files didn't have anything. I mean, that got revealed when Matt Taibbi just got completely embarrassed and discovered that the data didn't match up. What he wrote about couldn't be verified. That Elon was doing the same thing, and that, yeah. So the Twitter files were complete nothing burger. They made great headlines, and then Matt Taibbi had no integrity as a journalist and got completely turned into a hack. And now he's like persona non grata. Even Elon won't help him out. He was just a mouthpiece for propaganda Elon wanted out there. BT, AMC is going to squeeze with the delay of the conversion. One can hope, right? And if it squeezes and they convert and you're holding a whole bunch of apes, well, then you just like 5x your squeeze money. RVing happens. Hey, Houston, if Twitter doesn't have an HR department, can I put that I work there on job application with no way to verify it? Yes. That's exactly what you can do. I realized this. I worked for rivals.com and they went under. I could have put anything I wanted on my CV. I could have been like, oh, I was the vice president of rivals.com. And they'd be like, oh, wow. Can we call the HR department and find out? Good luck. Right? I can say whatever I want on there. No, you totally can. And they're never going to be able to check because, anyone who would check is such a mess of paperwork. They have no idea. They're not going to be able to verify anything. So put yourself on there as being vice president of acquisitions for twitter.com and, enjoy your new job making $900,000 a year to rest and divest at Google. So you're welcome. Have at it. Chris Taylor, where's Monkey and Kitty today? Well, Cat's there. Monkey Butt that's her little mouth, old man mouth right there. That's right. Oh, hi. Want to touch your weapons? Can I touch your weapons? Oh, little floppy weapons. Oh, yeah. Oh, such a hard life. You guys sleep all the time. Okay, we've got 45 minutes left to raise $301. This is when it comes down to bribing you. So remember, every dollar you spend on raffle on donation becomes one raffle ticket for a Blue Sky invite. I've got 2 Blue Sky invites to give away. On top of that, what we're going to do is every $50 we raise, Monkey Butt gets a treat. How's that? We'll go back to a little pleading for the hearts here. So every $50 you raise, Monkey Butt gets a dog treat. We're going to make her the happiest dog in the entire world, not just the boring little floppy dead thing over there in the corner. She'll be wagging her tail, brightness in her eyes. She'll be so happy. And you folks, you want to make Monkey Butt happy, right? So let's get our $1,000 goal. Get Monkey at least 6 treats out of it. Because we have $301 to go. 50 goes into 300 6 times. So at least 6 treats for the Monkey Butt here. Plus, that's another 300 entries for a Blue Sky invite code, which we know. We all want Blue Sky invite codes because we know that X or Twitter is going to die eventually. And we're going to need somewhere to go. So, yeah. Scott Paul in Houston, why are pressure treated 4x4s that are 12 feet long so effing heavy? Okay, well, A, they're 12 feet long. B, pressure treated means they get squished a little bit. And C, they get injected with heavy metals. So a lot of times pressure treated wood, especially the ones you see like the little dots they could put in them, they literally inject arsenic into those suckers. So they're injecting heavy metals into them. And so that's why you don't want to burn them in a fire. You got to take them to the dump and have the dump deal with them. Do not, if you ever have pressure treated wood, do not put it into a fireplace or into a burn pit outside, because what happens is everything burns off and it leaves behind the heavy metals and you end up like toxifying the soil under it. So do not burn pressure treated wood. Dispose of it at the dump and let them do whatever it is they do with them. So yeah, there's 2 reasons why they're heavy sell. I mean, if you got a non-pressure treated 4x4, it's still gonna be pretty heavy because it's a lot of wood, but has not been a little bit like a pressure treated one has. Is Daphne here? I have not seen Daphne yet today, so I don't think she is here. Jeff Chrisman, longtime lurker. Well, I'm glad you jumped in there and donated, man. That's fantastic. You guys closer. Oh, anonymous. Got another anonymous donation. Getting us a little closer here. So that's another 10 raffle tickets for Rosa. There you go. Boom. So Monkey Butt, $40 more, and you get yourself a treat. She's dead. Look at her. She's just completely dead to the world. All right. So we got someone who wants to help Monkey Butt out. Get her treat time. Luke Alexander, Houston, you were way ahead of everyone by calling Adam Aaron an idiot and bad for AMC. Good to see everyone coming around now, but I think it's too late. If only everyone listened to you from the start. Sometimes my crystal ball is a curse. We tried a year and a half ago to put a shareholder on the board. Since there are no shareholders on on the board currently. There needs to be a retail component to the members of the board. There needs to be. But the way the bylaws are written for their corporate charter is you can nominate, and the board has to then nominate after that. So we could send in all the votes we wanted. We could send in all the names we wanted. And if the board goes, yeah, we don't want to serve with them, then they don't get on the list for being members. And I don't know how to change that, honestly. It's a good old boy network, and it's designed specifically to stay that way. So without somebody somehow buying 50.1% of the company and forcing a change, I don't know how we collectively get together. I mean, is there a way for us to form a holding company of our shares? Let me just process this for a second. Okay. So let's say we unionize, right? We get all of the AMC owners of AMC to pool our shares into a holding company that we all own a proportional amount of, right? That company owns now more than 50% AMC. We could force the board out and have them do what we want. That might be the way to do it. Is we would have a representative or representatives of that holding company then control the board and everything else. Now, how you go about that, I'm not entirely sure. And I'm sure just by presenting that, you would have so many angry people that would all fight each other and scream and yell and have drama. But in a perfect world, you would just take like 5 competent people out of those owners and you say, run the company. And then they go off and they run the company and they fix everything rather than make it worse. Thought experiment. If anyone wants to work on that, by all means, get in there. Oh, got another anonymous. Got another one. And the Korean name I cannot pronounce. How do you want me to say your name? I don't know how to I'll draw this. Korean name. Looks like a little 2 up there. And then it has a little line and a dash and then a little rectangle at the bottom, right? Yeah, a little rectangle at the bottom. There we go. Okay. So that's 20 there. How do I say your name? I wish I could. Someone said it's like a swear word. Another person said it's human. I have no idea. What? Can I highlight it? Can I highlight your name? Put it into like a translate? Like this. Right, Control C. Let's find out. Korean to English. This person. Isalam? Did I say it? This person. I'm going to write that down so I remember it because I don't remember it. This person. Okay, Isalam. Parentheses. Isalam. Islam? Islam. All right. There we go. Solved. Owen Saunders, hey pal, if MMTLP went for a settlement, how do you think that would happen? As who would get the next bridge shares? It's a shambles and I just want to get paid. Honestly, I have no idea how that would work. My guess is that there'd be some sort of settlement price. Someone would have to assume ownership of the company and everyone would just get dollars for their shares. Either legit from the company purchasing them or from the payment in lieu for the generators of those short shares. Beyond that, I don't know how else a settlement would work. Unless settlement somehow includes 2 more days of trading or forced closing and position close only. That might do it. Coffee, Donuts, and Homer. Recession will happen until we get close to the U.S. elections. I don't know. There's a giant real estate bubble that's popping right now, and that is enough to bring down banks like crazy. So I don't know. Yogi, did you see Berta and Acme CEO got a Wells notice from SEC? I did not. Wells notice. It's 2022, it's 2021, 2021. I have not seen that. Can't find anything. 2021, 2020. I don't see anything recent. That's 2022, 2022, 2022. Send me a link. I've not seen anything about that. So, Casey Chapman's here. All right. Casey Chatman. Monkey butt. You know what just happened? Look at that reaction time. So quick. You're now $74, monkey. That is one monkey treat. Yeah. One monkey treat. Okay. Ready to get fat? Come up here. Come up here, say hi. Come on. Come on, get it. Come on, there you go. Oh, nom, nom, there you go. Yeah. All right, got one monkey treat. We're at $74. We got 246 bucks to go, which means 5 more opportunities for Monkey Butt to get treats, right? There you go. There you go, you happy little dog. Okay, now you go back to your corner and be bored again. Now she's like, oh, it always comes in 3s. Nope. It's one at a time, buddy. One at a time. All right. Fortunato 2. Fortunato 2. Fortunato 2. As in, not Fortunato 1. That's somebody else. Fortunato 2. Fortunato. Fortunato. Oldsmobile Toronado. Trofeo. Dream car list. All right. Daniel Bernard, hope all is well, Houston. Well, it's pretty well. Nance N. Phil for real shows multiple squee numbers for AMC and 14 billion naked shorts. How is that possible? I mean, they've been shorting like crazy. They had to get it down somehow, right? Because it was sitting at 35 to 50 bucks for 8 months, somewhere around there. And it was even above like $20 until last summer. They've been pushing it down since then. Darren Saunders has jumped in here too. Oh, monkey butt, you are $5 away from another treat. Darren Saunders jumping in. All right, so close. Now she's hanging out because she knows that something's up. She's like right at my feet now, just like. That's right, buddy. You got this. If there are cat treats, this cat would eat. Feed him cat treats, but he doesn't actually need any because he's fat. Or we can get him high. Should we get the cat high? Let's get the cat high here. Let me. This is not for you. This is catnip. This is not monkey nip. So what we'll do is I'll take this sheet of paper, put it right there. You kitty? Yeah. Look at that. Want to get high? Oh hell yeah. Yeah, eat it like a little drug addict. Yeah, get in there. Oh, it's delicious. Look at him go. Oh yeah, tilt right into your face. There you go. Yes. Okay, so get the dog food and the cat high. Every 50 bucks. How about that? So I just dumped a lot in there, so that cat's gonna be just out of his mind here in a second. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, get it all, kitty. Look at that. Nice little line there for you, huh? Yeah, all lined up. Yeah, nom nom nom. Okay. Chris Taylor, does this universe age disconnect related Hubble tension? Oh. Is this universal age related to Hubble tension? Relate? Relate. Disconnect relate to Hubble tension. Well, there's the Hubble constant that we're talking about. That for every megaparsec in distance, was about 3 million light years, things are moving away from each other at about 70 kilometers per second. So you get enough of those megaparsecs together, and you've got yourself the speed of light that they're traveling away from each other. Oh, there you go. Yeah, was that fun? Was that fun? Did you eat it all? Are you sitting in it? Is it wonderful? Oh, yeah, drugs. Oh, it's all over your face. Yeah. Let's get you stoned, throw you outside, come back with like 3 dead birds. Derek Colhorse, fires Italy, Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia, indeed. Andrew Vanderhelm getting in there. Oh, that means it's monkey butt time. Andrew Vanderhelm. Okay. Monkey butt. She appears. Number 2. We've got $186 to go, monkey, which is 3 more opportunities for you to get food. Or 4 more opportunities to get food. Yeah? Come on, get it. Come on, get it. Get it. There you go. Oh, it's so delicious. Costco meat. Delicious. Okay, we're almost there. We've got 28 minutes to go, monkey, to raise $186. And there's 200 people in here, which means everybody just donates $1. We best our goal right off the bat. So come on. Let's make another successful Charity Tuesday, because we are the best charity raisers on all of YouTube. Period. Okay. I lost my spot. Where was I? I'm only like an hour and a half behind the chat, so Billcoin, pay big money to vacation Italy and never be able to leave the hotel. Better sit at home and watch YouTube videos. I have friends that just got back from Italy. They were in northern Italy for floods. They were in southern Italy. It was like about to be on fire, and they're home now. And they missed the actual fires, but they did experience quite a bit of flooding in northern Italy. Armando Atunez, Houston. Can you explain what's going on with MMTLP dividend? No. We are in purgatory. That's where we are. We don't really have anything happening. We are waiting for either the regulators, elected officials, or the courts to do something. And spending our days pressuring them to do something. So that's where we are. Until we get a response out of one of those groups that's saying something, we're just in this purgatory. J-Dog, second chance, Houston. The Mega Millions, 820 million. Still time to grab a ticket. I got one last night, so I have my ticket to win 820 million. And I told you guys about what to do if you win the lotto, right? Don't claim it. You do not want your name out there, searchable. People know who it is. I mean, if your name's like John Smith or something, you can probably get away with it. But if you've got a name like Houston Wade, where there's only like 4 other people in the universe with that name, you're not going to get away with claiming $120 million. For one, what you do is you make an LLC. Now, you can form your LLC in the U.S., or you can be sketchy and form it like in, I don't know, the Cayman Islands or something. And that LLC owns the lotto ticket, right? They own the ticket. And you can approach a large investment fund, a bank, institution, someone. Get a lawyer. Always get a lawyer. You're going to promise them quite a bit of cut of that to negotiate this for you. A couple $1,000,000, whatever. And you're going to go and negotiate with one of these large institutions. Say, hey, I have an $820 million lotto ticket. The cash out value is, I don't know, let's say $200 million or whatever it is. You get the lump sum. Or it's $820 million over 30 years, which, that would be clear 20 divided by 30, which is 27 million a year. So that's not too bad, right? That's what it is. Oops, that's the wrong thing. One of those, divide that by 30. Yeah, 27.33 million a year. Not too shabby, right? You can live comfortably off of that, or you can take the lump sum and play with it now. But regardless, you're going to go to this institution, this large bank, whoever, and you say, hey, I want you to buy my LLC. My LLC owns an $820 million lotto ticket. Now, you can take the lump sum and not have to worry about paying the taxes off the top because you're a corporation. And you can get more than the $200 million lump sum that would come out of it because you're not paying the 28% taxes. You can roll that into all sorts of things. Or you can give me a loan for like, I don't know, $600 million. And we'll pay it off $27 million a year at a time with this ticket. I just need to sign this non-disclosure, blah, 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 and you're good to go. Now, you take the loan, the sale, whatever, and you got an offshore LLC handling it, some holding company, whatever. You aren't going to pay federal taxes on that either, especially if it's a loan. If it's a loan, well, every dime that you're making yearly goes untaxed because you're paying off a loan with it. That's what rich people do it. They take their giant holdings of their companies, and billions of dollars. They take out billions of dollars in loans, and that's how they live and buy their yachts and stuff. And then anytime they sell stock to pay off that loan, it goes tax-free. So that's how they get away with paying such little amount in taxes. So if you win the 820 million or the 1 billion last week in California, there's sneaky ways you can go about without having to just like claim it yourself. So anyway, and right now the lump sum totals are much lower than they were in the past because interest rates are going up. If you guys don't know how it's calculated, what they do is they look at interest rate on municipal bonds. And they say, how much money would you have to invest now at current interest rates in municipal bonds for it to be worth $820 million 30 years from now? And they go look at it and they go, oh, about $250 million. You put $250 million in municipal bonds now, you'll get $820 million 30 years from now. And that's largely how they calculate it. So when interest rates were really, really, really low, like 1.5%, it took a huge amount of money to invest in municipal bonds to get to that $820 million 30 years from now. So the lump sums were larger 2 years ago than they are now, which is very weird to think about. But yeah, so, you know, if you do win the $820 million, by all means, single-handedly trigger MOAS for us. Just get like $100 million in call options that are near in the money, and then just start buying shares like crazy and triggering those call options like nobody's business. Buy everything through lit markets and just trigger, and just force them to gamma, and then trigger MOAS for us. That's, please. Okay. Park Life, in the same theme as Martin Weiss UBS puts, I can book a week in Italy for a holiday and guarantee it will rain all week and regret not packing a cardigan. I told you guys about the one time I did not pack extra underwear and I shit myself on day one. Because you always pack your underwear as if you're going to shit yourself every single day. It's just like, I'm gone for 2 weeks, I'll pack 30 pairs of underwear, and you're totally fine. The one time I was leaving for 2 weeks, and I was like, you know what? I'm only going to pack 14 pairs of underwear, because I never shit myself on vacation. I've only shit myself like once in my entire life. Why would I shit myself on vacation? First morning of the vacation, I drove, ate food. Next morning, I'm at a pancake place, eating breakfast at the pancake place, and I shit myself right there. It just came out. Did not have the extra underwear. So always pack the extra underwear. You just don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes I cursed myself right there by not having the insurance of an extra pair of underwear. If I had the extra pair of underwear, it never would have happened. Anonymous, another $5 in here. Monkey butt, you are $10 away from another treat. 10 more dollars, and you get another one. And we are $181 away from meeting our $1,000 goal for the Entertainment Community Fund to help support striking writers and actors. there a seagull out there? What the heck? There's a seagull out there, monkey. Park Life. Russia is raising the maximum age at which men can be conscripted from 27 to 30. Will we see 40, 50, and 60? There are already people there in their 50s and 60s that have been conscripted. So it just must be a formality at this point, because there's like blind guys with 1 foot who are in their 60s who have been conscripted. I just read about they have an entire school that they've basically conscripted into their the Saw Hill drone factory. So there's like 15 to 17-year-olds that have been conscripted and being forced to put together drones and not go to school. And if they like refuse, it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars fine for them and their families. It's pretty gnarly. BT, AMC's about to squeeze. Caribbean. What do you think of UPS stock since agreement was reached? That's probably going to go up a bit since agreement was reached. So, yeah. Iggy Lemon, looks like there's a company named BBBY Acquisition Company, LLC, that was recently incorporated on 7/12/23. Really? I'm sure you've sent me the link to it there, Iggy. I'll check that out. Dennis Sullivan, any good news on MMTLP? No news on MMTLP at the moment. BOFH, related to Dennis Sullivan's question, when can we expect an update on Rose's case? I would have thought this week, just because it's been 30 days since she filed, and that's around the time they have to file their response. And I've seen no response pop up yet. And if anybody sees a response pop up, by all means, let me know. We got another anonymous monkey. That means we're $5 more away from another treat. It's coming. And this kitty cat. Oh, are you aware now? Oh, look at that little yawn. Oh, I got you, didn't I? I got you. Oh, you're just a little messer now, aren't you? Gosh, oh, you're so high. You're so high. You want to just murder, but you like everything's just so. Subway Cup. Has no one mentioned the Wells notice on the SEC just issued against Berta and GP? Someone mentioned it. I've not seen anything pop up yet. So by all means, someone have a link to it. Send it to me. I'd love to check it out. Reduced Sugar Daddy 28. I originally supported A because 2 years ago he refused to sell at $69 a share. But you would think by now the company would have used dilution to find a better business model. Yeah. Well, the thing is that there was a big push not to dilute. Without him selling to cat's gone crazy. Without him selling at market to retail holders, and he wouldn't do that. He was like, I am only selling to hedge fund buddies, and so the shareholders wouldn't give him the approval to dilute. All he has to do is say, hey, I will sell directly to holders of the stock. That's it. That's all he has to do, and then they would buy it. Done. Joe Rocco, what is Blue Sky? Blue Sky is an alternative short-form social media platform like Twitter, only absolutely just debaucherous. All the shit posters have largely moved over there. And it's kind of nice over there, I'll be honest. Not as many users, not quite there. I mean, I'm sure when X or Twitter or whatever collapses, they'll all be over at Blue Sky or on Threads. Threads' problem is it's owned by Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg doesn't like nipples or jokes and leans more towards heavy moderation, whereas Blue Sky seems much more like the Wild West. And nipples and jokes abound on there. J.R.L. Bell. X ain't dying, bro. Get Elon out of your head on his rent free. Dude, Twitter is toast. It is not long for this world. They're losing $5 billion a year at the moment on less than $1 billion in revenue. They owe hundreds of millions of dollars in severance that they've never paid, which means they're going to lose lawsuits and get levied damages on top of what they owe. They're facing gigantic fines for violating child safety, privacy protections in multiple nations and US, EU, you name it, GDRP laws in Germany. They've got some serious issues. They're being looked at by congressional committees for manipulation, for Elon using it as a way to manipulate stock prices and crypto. So, plus, it's revealed that he's using ketamine like crazy, and he's contacting foreign nations, and his relationships with China and Russia are really suspect, especially for somebody that has security clearances like he does through SpaceX. He might be in trouble. And, not healthy. Not healthy to have the leader of one of the largest government contractors in the country doing whatever Russia and China tells him to do. Monkey Butt. Walt, the man in the middle, and Chris Taylor. Oh, we had Chris Taylor in here earlier, didn't we? Joe Rocco. Chris Taylor. Threw another one in there. We got Walt, the man in the middle. Okay, that is boom. Out of the list. Monkey Butt time. Woo! Yeehaw! Yippee! Oh, that's the best day ever. It's the best day ever. That's right. Another $10, Monkey? No, sorry. That means there. Another $50. You get another one. Boom. There it is, Monkey. Oh, Julie got in here. Julie R. RPAC. Julie R. RPAC. Bam. All right. $45, Monkey. $45. And you get another treat. All right. We're getting there. We're $146 away from meeting our goal. That's pretty awesome. And there's 185 of you in here. So everyone throws $1 in there. We exceed our goal. Woo! Okay. This person, do you see above info? About the Wells notice? I'm gonna have to say I've seen it on here. I have not had a chance to read any of it yet because I'm in the middle of the show. Let's see here. Wells notice. 2021. Anything popping up? Nope, nothing popping up there. If I go to search SEC Wells notice. I'm not seeing anything pop up there. Berta? Whoops. Looks like they're having some chats bad. Okay. Okay, I don't see anything directly yet. So I'm gonna have to, when I get off my show in 10 minutes, gotta raise $146. So let's, and I can, if you guys send me a link, I can read it then. All right. Maui Sam, aloha, Room Wade. Aloha, Maui Sam. T-Mart, 2006. Did you see the new BBBY docket contain BBBY Acquisition Company, LLC, brand new entity? That's what Iggy just said. I have not seen that yet. So, let's see what it's all about. Jasmine, Is there actual recoverable oil in Oregonde? Are NextBridge shares going to sell? They said they have no plans to sell. I'm going to move my MMTLP NextBridge. I'm worried it's all a scam and we all got shafted. There's oil. They've pumped oil. I mean, they've doing their five oil wells a year. And they've pumped natural gas too. It's just that they're doing test wells and they're capping them because they don't have the infrastructure to do anything else. And I think for them to be viable and to be able to sell, they've got to build the infrastructure. They've got to build tanks and pipelines and start shipping, even having trucks come, fill up with oil and driving away, doing something, moving that oil, getting a little bit of working capital off of it. And once they can start building more infrastructure, then someone big's can come along and go, I want to buy that for $80 bajillion. And then they can sell. But if all they're doing are the test wells and they aren't doing anything beyond the test wells to actually start pumping oil, then they're doing themselves a disservice in that. This person, it happened in South Korea. Someone quietly claimed the lottery ticket 1 week before expiration date. Yeah, if I win, ticket receives in secret and disappear. Exactly. You know, if people ask about your sudden wealth, be like, hey, one of my stock plays hit really well, so I can just kind of sit back and relax and just do that. Hubble tension is disagreement in the rate the expansion is happening based on several different types of measurement. I mean, it's not exact because the way stuff tumbled out of the Big Bang, you wouldn't have a consistent rate everywhere of expansion, but pretty much everything is expanding away from each other. The Hubble constant is just sort of the rough average. You see, everything in astronomy is built in with about 50% error right off the bat. So how this might be as we wait for our next $146 to come in and we can finally close the sucker out, we will do some paint for you. Right? You guys love it when I bring up the paint. It's your favorite thing in the entire world, watching Houston draw pictures. So, Excel, turn off Chrome. Bam. Nope, turn off calculator. Nope, turn on paint. There we go. There we go. All right. So, we're going to make a new one. Come on, new. No, I don't want to save. All right, so we have, I'll make blue. We have the Earth here. And 6 months later, we have the Earth over here. All right. And in the middle, we have the sun. That's a really good sun. I'm really proud of this one here. See the sun? The sun's doing the sun thing. Okay, rays coming out. And the Earth orbits the sun, right? So if you take a picture of a star, it's really, 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 really far away, right? You take a picture of a star, it's really far away, and off in the distance are a bunch of background stars. Now, a star that's really far away, we're talking hundreds of light years, something like that. If, like when you hold your finger up in front of your face, right, and you close one eye, and you look at the background of everything back there, and then you do the other eye, you can see the background shifts back and forth. This is called parallax. And if we take a picture of this star, right, take a picture of the star from this side of the sun, and 6 months later take the picture of the star from this side of the sun, we can make essentially two right triangles to this star. And we can see that the background stars change with those pictures. All right, so we got the two right angles here. And doing a little trigonometry, calculating the hypotenuse and everything, we can figure out basically if we know this angle of incidence here, thus the difference in those background stars, which we could consider them kind of infinitely far away, we can then figure out the actual distance here by doing our simple trigonometry. That is sort of our first way of measuring a distance to different stars. Now, This is not an exact science because these background stars aren't actually infinity away. There's a little error involved, how we calculate them. The stars themselves might be moving around their own little systems. So there's error built into this thing already. From that point forward, we have other ways of measuring. We can do standard candles and Cepheid variables. So don't save. We can do like we got a bunch of stars out here. And off in the distance, we've got a different star that's a Cepheid variable, and what it's doing is it's blowing up and it's contracting as it expands too far, and it heats up again and expands. And it does this at a particular rate, and we can measure the color of the star, the rate at which it's growing and expanding, and how much light it's giving off. And then that can give us the distance it is from our own sun. So, that's, and again, there's error built into this one, but we compare it with Cepheid variables by using that little triangulation we do, the parallax. So there's already a little error now built into this thing. It's compounding. Next, we have what are called standard candles. And those standard candles are type 2 supernovas. Oops, I don't want to save that. Cancel that. I want to go new, don't save. Okay, so this helps us in really far distances. We can look back several billion light years. So if we have some galaxies, right? Got a couple of galaxies, often really far away, right? And then we've got our own star here. And we look out all these galaxies and we see something like a very, 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 very bright supernova. Now, depending on how big the supernova is, what type of light it's giving off, we can tell if it's a type 1 or type 2 supernova. Now, type 1 supernova is a really big star, collapses, goes boom, and makes supernova. It can be any number of sizes, whatever. A type 2 supernova is an interesting case. So we'll make a little sidebar over here. This is our sidebar. So what you can have is I'm gonna have to make it. So you have a white dwarf, which is just the core of a star. So it's dead star, just the carbon core, and all the gases have been blown away over millions of years. And you have it in a binary system where you might have a larger star, right? Some sort of red giant that's ending its life, and its gases are giving off. And if it expands and gets large enough in its red giant phase, it can reach the sphere of influence, and a little bit of this material can drop onto this white dwarf, causing little fusion explosions called novas. Right? It goes pop, and then the rest of that material compacts into the core, and more material falls on, pop, and it packs on. If that core gets to 1.4 times the size of our sun, it collapses in a supernova. And it's the straw that broke the camel's back. And it will always collapse at 1.4 solar masses. So as long as you've got a binary system where gas is falling onto this little core, this little white dwarf, the minute it gets to 1.4 solar masses, it collapses into a supernova, and the exact same type of supernova everywhere in the universe all the time. So whenever you see one of these supernovas happen, these type 2 supernovas, you know it's the exact same amount of brightness, the exact size of explosion, happen at the exact same mass. So they call it a standard candle. And you can measure how bright these supernovas are. You know, if it's bright, then it's really far away. If it's even brighter, it's really closer. And you can use what's called the 1 over r squared law to calculate the distance from that object. So the 1 over r squared law is basically 1 over the distance squared. So same thing here, 1 over distance squared. And you know this, you have a really bright flashlight right up close to your eye, it's bright as hell, you can't keep your eyes open. Bring that flashlight further away, less light's getting to your eyes, you can keep your eyes open longer, right? So if this is, 100 million light years, it's 100 million light years squared. If this is 200 million light years, It's 200 million light years squared. So this is 1 over 200 million squared in brightness, and this is 1 over 100 million squared in brightness. So this one's going to appear brighter because it's closer to us, and we can calculate that distance. Now, using the brightness of these objects, bling, Hubble was able to look at them and notice that they would redshift. And this, okay, I keep trying to save this thing rather than just make a new one. New, file new, don't save. Okay, so what Hubble noticed was you have what's called the black body radiation curve. And this might be a standard star here to something like this. And for like our star, we peak in green. So we're here. Most of our light is in green, but because green's in the middle of the visible spectrum, it kind of appears yellow-white to us. Really, 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 really big stars, they'll have a black body radiation curve that might be something more like this, and they may peak in like violet, right? And then there's teeny tiny little stars. Those teeny tiny little stars, little M-class stars, they might do something more like this, and their peak might actually be in infrared, but the most visible light you get is in red, so it might do something like this. So what color you see of the star depends upon where the most visible light being given out. And these little stars, they literally peak in infrared. You can't see infrared, but the most energy in visible light you see is from red, so they'll appear red. Now, what happens is, as an object is moving away from you, it does what's called redshifting, meaning the wavelengths move further and further and further to the red side of the spectrum and farther away from the blue side of the spectrum. So if you're seeing light, seeing a star that should be peaking in green, but that peak actually looks like it's in red, based upon, the size of it and the amount of light it's giving off, you go, oh, this star is moving away from us. It's redshift, just Doppler shifted away from us. Just like an ambulance going, neener, neener, neener. The wavelength got longer and turned more red. You can start calculating where that peak of light should be and what light is showing, and calculating how fast it's moving away from us. And so the Hubble constant is basically, what they looked at is every 3 million light years, or about 1 megaparsec, cause a 70 kilometers per second. That's how fast it's moving away from us. So it's moving away from us at 70 kilometers per second, and what we're seeing is objects that are really, 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 really far away. They're moving away from us at close to the speed of light. Now, again, all these calculations are based upon the first rung of the ladder, which is parallax, right? And parallax has air built in. And then we're doing the Cepheid variables. Those have air built in. We're using the Cepheid variables to test our standard candles, which are the type 2 supernovas, which has, again, tons of air built in. And then we're using that to calibrate our Hubble constant, which also has air built in. So literally, if you're within an order of magnitude in astronomy, you're pretty good. So we just automatically assume that everything has 50% error rate. So when we say the universe is 13.8 billion light years old, and someone else says it's 27 billion light years old, as far as an astronomer is concerned, that's pretty much the same number. That makes people really uncomfortable. So, yeah, that's why there's, you can look at different sides of the universe to see the Hubble constant is a little different, but it's like not that much different. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. And astronomers go, good enough. And that really pisses off a lot of math people. But, such is life. Big Houston. Okay. I went through a whole astronomy lesson and no one donated. Monkey butt. Oh, that's not you. Oh, you're a little cat. You're a little cat. We need to make Monkey Butt happy. We also need to raise $146 more. So we need at least 3 more Monkey Butt, maybe 4 more Monkey Butt treats, right? So we gotta raise a bit more. Oh, we're so close. We're so close to making a successful Charity Tuesday. I can't leave yet. I'm gonna have to hang out for a little bit longer because we can't have our first unsuccessful Charity Tuesday be today of all days when we can make a monkey butt happy with treats. We can get raffle tickets for Blue Sky invites, which I got 2. Every $1 you donate, you're gonna get an entry for the raffle for the Blue Sky invite. And come on down to Charity Land, and all 146 of you. There's exactly 146 of you watching right now, which means if each one of you donates $1, we meet our goal. Yeah, Logic Dustbin's in it. So we got Logic Dustbin. Logic Dustbin. Boom. Another anonymous. All right. Awesome. That's $1 away from another monkey butt treat. So we're so close. Wait, what just happened? Oh, it went to... It just jumped up and then jumped back down again. So that passed us. That got us past one of the monkey butt treats. So, yeah. Bam. Monkey butt treats. Oh yeah, come on, get over here. Get over here, monkey butt. You've earned it by being a dog. Come on. Come on, everybody. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. It's okay. Gotta reach it. Gotta reach it. Oh, yay. All right. Andrew Vanderhelm jumping in there again. Oh, boy. We got $117 to go. Another $16 till another monkey butt treat. Wouldn't that be exciting? Oh, boy. All right. All right. I still have more questions to get through here. Where am I? This person writes, sorry, copy and paste Twitter address seems deleted. Oh, yeah. Regular viewers can't post links. But Iggy says he posted the link in my DM, so I got that. Okay, cool. Decay to Raw, happy birthday, Houston. What do you think about Goldman Sachs putting a price target of $175 for AMC stock? Smells fishy, huh? It's very interesting because, like, what it says to me is their analysts go, oh my goodness, the stock is really shorted, and if there's a push at all, the stock price goes up, shorts can get obliterated. And you know, coming up? Oh, there we go. Cocktail karaoke. But also, Goldman Sachs lends like trillions of dollars in margin to hedge funds, and those same hedge funds, if they get blown up, then Goldman Sachs left holding the bag. So why would they want to advertise that this stock should be worth $175? That to me is very weird. Like, there has to be some sort of play, some sort of like making people go, oh, you know what? Maybe it's only worth $175 and that's it. And helping the shorts get out of it for just that price. I don't know. I really don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. Mark J. Redshift is very questionable. No, because how Redshift works. We'll bring this up. There are certain gases that have absorption and emission lines at exact frequencies. So, here we go. Well, bring this guy up. This will do it. Come on. Come on. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Come on. Produce it. Make the website go. Okay. So measuring redshift. Chrome. So what you have is you've got certain lines of emission or absorption that happen at exactly a certain wavelength. And we can reproduce in this laboratory. We can go into a laboratory and we can burn off some, I don't know, iodine or calcium or something, and in the mass spectrometer, and we'll see these emission lines happen at exactly these points. And if we know what the pattern of the emission lines make, oh, this one's calcium, this one's hydrogen, this one's helium, this one's titanium, whatever, we know exactly the pattern they make. and it shifts one way or the other on the spectrum, but the pattern remains the same, then we know if the object's coming towards us or going away from us. And if that's the case, then we know if it's blue shifting or red shifting. And we can even look at certain galaxies, and we can tell from the rotation of the galaxy what direction it's going by if certain stars in that galaxy are blue shifting towards us, certain stars are red shifting towards us as they turn away. So we can measure it. It's very, very, very precise as to like how much in the spectrum these things have shifted. What we're trying to figure out exactly is the exact relationship between that red shift and the distance they are away from us, which more or less is about 70 kilometers per second per megaparsec. And that's where we are. Uh-oh, my YouTube streaming is down. No one's here to download video games. What's going on? Oh my gosh, M. Hobson and Anonymous. Oh boy, you guys jumped in there real strong there. So Hobson, where were you? You were here. Oh, fantastic. Look at that. We're over our goal, which means Monkey Butt gets 3 treats. You're getting so fat today, Monkey. It's Monkey Boobalati Day. That's 2. That's 3. Should do all 3 in the Jaws cam because we haven't done a Jaws cam yet. Oh my goodness. Oh, get in there. Get in there. Come on, you can get it. Come on. It's right there. Right there. Yeah. Delicious. Way to go. Thank you, everybody. A successful Charity Tuesday. I need to keep like a tally of how many. We're at 26 Charity Tuesdays successful ones. 25. It was July 2021 when we did our first one. But we've done a couple of like emergency ones since then. Come on, you can get it. There you go. Oh yeah. It's getting too close because the cat's on the thing there. You get that one off the floor. You drop that. Yeah, there you go. All right, one more up here. Come on, up there. Oh, stretch it, big stretch. Come on, you can get it. How come I always manage to get it just out of your reach? And oh, there you go. Oh, yes. Are you jealous, you stoned cat? You're high out of your mind. His eyes are like. Okay. Since we're close to the bottom, I'll finish up with a couple of these ones. I want to thank everybody. Seriously, thank you. Thank you for making another successful Charity Tuesday. Thank you for supporting a great charity such as the Actors Fund, now called the Entertainment Community Fund, who are helping striking workers and striking writers and actors who are just trying to make sure they can like make a living and live in expensive cities like LA and New York to entertain you and do what they love and not have to like work 50 jobs and sell themselves in other ways. So, excellent. Leroy Sackvibol. Do you really believe someone is going to say BBBYQ? I think they're in the process right now. And that's why I threw a bunch of money at it, because what else am I going to do with it? I'd love to see like a 100x return. That'd be fantastic. That'd be the tits. Why not? Lee Meadows, hey Houston, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. How high, in your opinion, can BBBY bounce if it squeezes? I mean, Hertz went to $46 from 40 cents when they got saved. Granted, they did have a bunch of inventory because used car prices are going through the roof. They had that going for them. What they didn't have was a bunch of weirdos who were thirsting for a win off of them. There's a groundswell of massive humanity behind this, and it seems like just looking at the filings, looking at how folks have interpreted those filings, it does seem like there's some big money behind gobbling up Bed Bath & Beyond and Baby to suit to their needs. And if that's the case, delicious, right? Right, kitty. I guess that's it for us today. Did 2 hours and change, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Got some astronomy lessons in there. We talked about opals. Talked about UPS struck a deal with Teamsters, so we can't benefit from puts. So I want to thank everybody for donating today. I want to thank everybody for participating, making another Charity Tuesday. I'll get all these names into an Excel file and do the random name generator, and we'll figure out who is going to get those 2 Blue Sky invites. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I need to do that for the show tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll do the name drawing, and we'll figure out who's getting those Blue Sky invites. And then when you get your invites, you can do whatever you want to pass them out to people. But fantastic. All right. Thank you, everybody, for making yet another successful Charity Tuesday. It's all thanks to you. And I so appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Just fantastic. Okay. Gee, Julio. Santa's 2024. Oh. How much of you dies inside whenever you write that? All right. Anyway, have a great night. I'll catch you guys later. Man, that's hookity pop. You know what is great, Kitty? You know what's great is that if I pick you up, you're high out of your mind. Oh my God, you weigh so much, and everyone can see your super high cat nipples.